Alright, hey, Omega here, and welcome to another WR250E Chronicles video, alright? So in this video, we're going to lower this bad boy once and for all, okay? So, one of the things I didn't like about this bike in the hare scramble race is that it was too tall, and Hayes Omega couldn't dab his foot when he very easily, alright? Compared to, Hayes Omega is used to riding mini bikes where I can easily get my feet on the ground. This thing is not like that, okay? So alright, not like it at all, alright? I think that's one of a lot of people's complaints about this bike is for height challenge people. Well, Hayes Omega is an average size person, okay? I'm 5'10", 190 pounds, and I could barely get my feet on the ground with this thing, okay? So I would like to be able to at least get the, my 2 feet on the ground, at least on the balls of my feet. So Hayes Omega is going to try to address that today. All right, there's a couple ways you can do that. All right, one way is you could shave the seat. All right, I might try that later. The previous owner of this bike gave me this. All right, it's a Yamalink. All right, so what the Yamalink is, it's a lowering link for the bike because it's so freaking tall. Okay, they don't cost too much, but yeah, he gave it to me. Because he said, like, yeah, the bike is so freaking tall. Okay, the guy, I think the guy I bought it from, he was about 6 foot, so, I mean, this bike probably fit him just right. It's on the tall side for me, okay? For the front, you can raise the triple clamps up, alright? I mean, raise the forks. Raise the forks up in the triple clamps. They say to go no more than 15 millimeters. So when lowering a bike, one of the, there's a couple things about lowering a bike, guys. It messes up the geometry of the bike because from the factory it was designed to be a certain height, right? The suspension wants to be at like a certain position, right? And you kind of ruin that when you lower the bike, okay, guys? But I think it's all on preference. From what I heard, you don't want to lower it more than 1.75 inches, right? And that's pretty much what the Yamalink does. It lowers it just enough where it won't affect the bike's geometry all that much, okay? They say not to lower the front more than 15 millimeters or else it'll mess up the geometry. And so another thing you have to worry about when you lower a bike is are you going to have enough clearance for the wheel, all right? So when you jump the bike or you fully compress the suspension, you can like bottom out. If you bottom out about bad enough, all right, the wheel could hit the fender and it'll lock the wheel up and you'll go over the handlebars, all right. That's happened to Hayes Omega before in Baja. It was not pretty, guys. I went over the bars and I got messed up pretty bad, and I tacoed up the wheel. Okay, so yeah, I really bottomed out the rear and I got thrown off of the bike pretty bad. Okay, so that's why Hayes Omega doesn't really lower bikes all that much anymore, okay? If you want to lower a bike, just lower it just a little bit, all right? And so that's what Hayes Omega is trying to accomplish here. But there is a way to tell if you have enough travel in your suspension, is to take the spring off and fully compress the suspension, and then see where it bottoms out, all right? We're not going to do that today, guys, all right? When I do get a chance to do it, I will do it, though, okay? Probably when I'm working on the rear suspension. I'm planning to rebuild the rear shock on this or replace it with the aftermarket one, okay, guys? But today, we're going to install this Yamalink and then see how much it lowers the bike and see if I like it, okay? There's 2 ways. So I just told you there's one way to lower the front, all right? And we're just going to worry about lowering the rear today, okay? From the factory, you can lower the bike 25 millimeters, okay? That's it's like 2 centimeters, yeah? That's like about an inch, yes, about an inch, or maybe like half an inch, somewhere around there, okay? So from the factory, you can already lower it, all right? So they already thought of, people will want different ride heights and all that stuff, okay? For in-scene challenge people, is what I say, okay? Like me, all right? So there's a jam nut on the clevis, and you can move the clevis up and down, and that'll get you an extra up to 25 millimeters, all right? Up or down, all right, type of thing. So, Hayes Vegas, we're gonna throw the Yamalink on today, and then we'll see how much it lowers the bike. Okay, Hayes Vegas is not gonna touch the shock at all. Okay, if I feel like I want it to be lower, then I will lower it more, okay, with the shock. But right now, I looked at the shock, and you guys we'll take a look at it in a second. I looked at the shock, and it's fully expanded, right? It's fully extended, so it's at the longest right now, right? That's why the bike feels so freaking tall, all right? But yeah, we're going to throw this Yamalink on, and then we'll see what it does. And then if I feel like I want to lower it more, or if I want to lower it less, maybe we'll put the stock linkage back on, and then we'll just lower the shock, all right? Hayes Vegas, I'm trying to get balls on my feet, at least balls on my feet on the ground, okay? I'm tippy toes, all right, guys? I'm tippy toes, or I'm 1 foot in this bad boy, all right? So for reference, we'll put the bike on its kickstand, and I will measure. We'll measure from a certain point how tall it is, okay? And then I will also we'll get a video of me sitting on the bike and where my feet are, okay? With my slippers on, I guess, okay? So let's go start that right now, okay? We'll do the measurement. Okay, so here's the rear shock on the bike. As you can see, it looks like it's still in good shape. That bumper looks like it's about ready to disintegrate, though, and so it looks like it's in need of some care, as I say, okay? But if you look under here, okay, so you see here there's a jam nut right here, all right, and then this is where the clevis is attached to, okay? So as you can see, there's quite a number of threads here, all right? So that means this is fully extended. So what you could do is open this jam nut and then take the shock off, at least take the bottom of the shock off, and then spin the clevis so it goes up, okay, guys? And then so when you do that, it's going to make the shock shorter, right? So it'll make your bike lower. So right now it's kind of at the tallest, all right, guys? You could see, all right, the suspension is like at a very downward sloping angle, okay? So that's one way you could lower it. We're going to throw this guy on there today, and then we'll see how much it lowers it, okay? And then if I feel like it needs less, we'll put the stock one back on, and then we'll start messing around with this, all right? But we're trying to get it so I can get the balls on my feet on the ground, all right, guys? So I can feel a little more confident when riding this thing that I can dab, all right? As you can see, the preload is about halfway, all right? So that's another way you can alter the ride height, is to do the preload, all right, guys? But the preload is the preload, and it's not for setting the ride height, okay, guys? That's for setting your seg. So, but that does have an effect on how high the bike is, okay? Okay, so yeah, let's go sit on the bike, and we'll go take some measurements and stuff. We'll mess around with this if I feel like it's probably too low, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna go sit on the bike right now, and then we'll see where I'm at. Oh, yes! So tall, man. Alright, so you can see there, I'm on the tippy toes, guys. I'm on the tippy toes. It's a good thing it's got a stubby tail, man. It's hard to get my foot over. Alright, so as you can see, I'm on my tippy toes, guys. I am barely able to get both of my feet on the ground. Okay, I can't quite get the balls on my feet. Maybe if I'm in my boots, I might be able to, man. Alright, and I'm trying to put my weight down on the bike, alright, but yeah. Okay, so I'm like, most of the time, I'm 1 foot like this, or I'm just kind of bouncing around on my tippy toes, and I don't like that, okay, guys? It would be nice if I can lower it like an inch, okay? So that's my goal, to get it about an inch, okay? Also, notice how much the bike leans when I get off the bike. All right, so that's got to tell you it's kind of tall. All right, you could probably lower it a lot more. All right, I know. So that's another thing. We probably don't want to lower it so much that the kickstand won't hold the bike up anymore. Okay, but as you can see, it leans quite a bit. All right, look at this. All right, it leans quite a bit.
So because it's at its highest setting, all right, guys, it leans a lot. Look at that, how much it leans. So you can see, you can look at the KLR. The KLR is almost straight up and down because I got a block on it. All right, my KLR leans a lot too, guys. Yeah, you can even compare it to the KLR. It looks much taller than the KLR, right? Like the seat, like let's say the middle of the seat, it hits this part right here. It's it's significantly taller than my KLR, right? And my KLR is already a bitch to get on, all right? And my KLR is like a stock height, all right? A KLR is pretty tall, all right, guys? So that's got to tell you, this thing is a monster. It's monstrously tall, all right? Even the Alta Redshift, not even that tall, man. But yeah, you can see how much it leans. It leans quite a bit. I'd say that's almost like a 30-degree angle lean, all right? Okay, so so that's scoop, guys.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this thing on a stand. Okay, probably don't want to have it too tall. Well, let's get it all the way up, and I'll put a jack underneath the wheel, all right, so it doesn't lower the wheel too much. Okay, this is up in the air. Okay, we're gonna put this other jack underneath the wheel. Doesn't flop the wheel down too much, but I like to get it up there so it'll be easier to work on. Okay, that's good. Okay, so thing we gotta do is take the kickstand off so we can get the bolts out. I watched the video on this already, guys. There's plenty of videos on this on the interwebs, guys. Oh, that was pretty good. I actually took it out and I Loctited it, and then we got to go take it out again. This one out. Okay. Kickstand's off. What I might do is change this bolt because it's kind of messed up. I'm trying to find another one, but there's the kickstand right there. Okay, and I think they say to take this chain roller off because it's in the way. This chain is super loose. I think we got to get a new chain roller too. This chain roller's kind of messed up. Okay, chain roller's off like that. All right, it definitely looks like we need to replace this guy. Yeah, it's like crumbling and stuff. So I'll probably add that to the shopping list. Stuff we need to fix on this bike. It is a 2008, guys, and it's 2024. So. Oh, I see. The chain roller is attached to it. That's why. So we're gonna have. So when we take it off, we're gonna have to push the chain up. All right, because the pin is actually attached to that. That's interesting. I've never worked with the WR before. It's an interesting piece of engineering, is what I'll say. Okay, now we're gonna go to the other side. Okay, so I think these two bolts got to come out. This one and this one. All right, and we could probably take the shock off. Yeah, so at this point we could probably take the shock off and we can make adjustments with the height, but I'm not going to mess around with it. Like I said, I don't want to lower it too much. I still want it to be kind of tall so we can go over, really tall obstacles easier, all right? But I don't want it like how tall it is right now. All right, and I think it's a 20, it's a 19 or something. Yep. 19 millimeter. So I think the important one to take off is this one right here. Okay. It's off. Take this one off. Okay. For how old the bike is, it looks like it's in pretty great shape. Okay. And just whack it with something. I'm gonna get a dead blow hammer. Knock this guy out. Okay, that one came out pretty easy. That one don't want to move. I'm gonna pull up and down on the wheel while pulling on the bolt. Alright, hopefully it'll come out. It's kind of gross, it's got grease all over it. There we go. Okay, it hit the chain, but okay, got it. Oh, the roll forward. All right, there's the back one.
Now it should be easy to get the front one out. I thought the bike was going to fall forward. Okay, so it should be easy to get it out now. And it's not. What the heck, dude? It's like stuck. Hit it with the... Hopefully I'm not messing the thread up. I think it's moving. Just got to get harder, man. There's not a lot of room to work with. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna hit this with, I'm gonna hit it with the rubber handle. It's stuck in there. Or let's do the opposite. Oh, you know what? It might be stuck on the chain. That's I forgot about the chain. Okay. Yeah, it moved a little bit, so it looks like I can get a pry bar and pry it out the rest of the way. Okay. So see, this thing is in the way. Oh, it's stuck in there. It shouldn't be like that. Probably a good idea to take the chain off. It'd be easier to work on this. I'm gonna whack it from this side. Should just come out easily. Whacking it on the other side with the 8mm socket. Shouldn't be that hard to get out. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like seized in there. Why? It's gonna be a bitch to get it back in. Okay, got it out. So I should be able to get the link out now. Okay, there's the bolt that came out. Let's take a look at it. Why is it so hard to get out? Maybe it's bent or something. It looks fine to me. It's got plenty of grease on it too, so we'll add a little more grease to it when we put it back in. Okay, there's the hole it came out of. Okay guys, so there's the difference between the stock linkage. I had another stock linkage laying around too, by the way, guys. Yeah, so that's a stock linkage, and that's the Yamalink. So it's only just slightly smaller, man. It's not really that much of a difference. Honestly, actually, I think it's longer. One way to find out. Stick this bolt in here. Stick it in the other one. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, that's how it is side by side. It's just slightly longer, guys. It's longer by like a few millimeters, guys. So another thing is it doesn't have the catch for this bolt. All right, that half moon part. I don't know how we were going to torque it like that because there's nothing to catch it, you know. And I think the Zerk fitting should be on the bottom because you're not going to be able to get it anywhere else. So I'm going to go so what you're supposed to do, all right, guys, is, yeah, there you go. So it's already came off. You're supposed to take this out and put it in over there. But this one already has it, all right? So he had like a second one lying around. So I'm just going to keep this like this. And I'm going to take this out and take a look at it, all right, guys, and see if there's grease in there. And if there's not, I'll add some grease to it, okay? It does have a grease fitting right here. That's nice. And it's a little dirty. I might wipe some of this grease off. All right, hey guys. So that's what it looks like inside the Yamalink. All right, at least the ones that I got. All right, it's got some kind of white grease in it. I'm probably gonna put some black grease in it. Okay, I think it's just some kind of lithium grease. Hopefully I'll wipe out as much of the old grease as I can, and then we'll pack it with some black grease in there. Okay, there was black grease on the bolt, so I don't think this has ever been installed on this bike. But yeah, all the needle bearings are in there. Everything looks good. Okay, I've cleaned up the link a little bit. Let's get all greasy again. Alright, it does have a Zerk fitting here, so you can grease that, but that's fine. I'm not going to use that right now. Okay, so I'm just going to get a napkin and very carefully wipe some of the grease off in there, and then I'm going to go pack it with some black grease. Okay, I got most of that old grease out of there. Alright, and then we're just going to pack it with this black grease in here. It's this is a lithium grease also. I think the white is lithium, right? So I'm going to pack the center section full of grease. Okay, it's probably going to make a huge mess when we put that pin back in. Okay, I'm going to get a good amount on the needle bearings. Then I didn't lose any of the needle bearings, so that's good. I know I always hate doing this because the needle bearings just come out, right? But if you put a lot of grease, it stays in the place. So, and then what I'll probably do is I'll just get a grease gun and grease it later. But you shouldn't really have to grease it at all, you know, unless you go do a lot of water crossings and shit. It's real gucha gucha in there. That's what to say. That's the Japanese onomatopoeia, right? Gucha gucha. Alright, so it's nice and gucha gucha. I think we're going to use this we'll use this one here. Alright, so let's stick this back in. Okay, and we'll keep the old one there. Hopefully some grease comes out the other end, and it does. It's good. That's what it's supposed to do. That means we know it's packed. Clean out all this grease, man. I hate this stuff, man. It's so messy. I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible, man. Because remember, this grease, it attracts dirt, you know, and keep the grease inside, not outside. Okay, and then some's gonna pop out the other end when I stick the thing in. Okay, so she's ready to go back on. Could probably do is take a peep at the linkage real quick. So I've got another triangle right there too. So if that one is if this one is in bad shape, then you know I've got a spare. Let's take this out. Take a peep in there real quick. Looks kind of dry, man. But it sticks. I'll put some grease in there too, man. Since I got it off. Okay. Yeah, there's not a lot of grease in that one. The other one had grease, but not this one. Okay, I'll just put a little bit of grease. I'm not going to clean it out. It looks clean in there, but it just doesn't look like there's a lot of grease in there. I'll just stick my finger in there. This man's trying to use up all this black grease, man. I've had this black grease for like a long time. A good spread of butter on there. That's good. Now I'm going to go put that collar back on. Okay. This is the collar I'm talking about. Okay, it's in there. It's got some fresh grease in it. Okay, I've greased this bolt here. This one was kind of dry. It looks like the stock Yamaha grease is like a yellow grease, alright? So it looks like somebody has serviced this at some point, as we want to say, but not that part that we took out, okay? I'm going to add some more black grease to this. Somebody already put some black grease on this. I don't know why this was so hard to get out too. Okay, but maybe it'll be easier if we lube it up. Alright. Okay, I'm going to go install the Yamalink now. All gooped up and ready to go. Okay, so I think it's got to go this way, yeah? Easily slid up in there, a little too easy. I gotta go from the other side, guys. Okay, we're gonna slide this up in there. Okay, I'm gonna put the bolt in there. Yeah, this one gets stuck. Maybe I should use the other one. Let's try putting the other one in first. Okay, so I have a second one of those pins, man. That one is stuck in there. I don't know, there's something wrong with it. So let's try putting this one in. I don't know why that one does not want to go in. It should just slide. It just glide right through, man. I don't know why. It's not want to go in smoothly. It's in there. I don't know why. I'm just gonna go to town on it, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to orientate the half moon circle so it locks into place. I'm trying to rotate it with the pliers here. I don't know why it's so hard to get in there. It shouldn't be like that. It should just slide right in. Okay, I'm gonna go hit it. Okay, it's getting pretty close to the chain. We should have just taken the chain off, guys. What a pain in the butt. Okay, so the problem I'm having right now, guys, is this bolt. I'm running out of space to hit the bolt. Has it popped out the other end? Yeah, it looks like it. Is it popping out the other end? Okay, it is. Okay, well, yeah, try to get it on in all the way. Okay, chain is stuck for a little bit. Okay, I think we got it. Now, put this back. Oh, I kind of got it dirty. Yeah, we're gonna put this back. Okay, that should be thing. Okay, so now, as you can see, we have to go raise. We gotta raise it up now, guys. Okay, so I'm going to use the jack to raise the wheel so the bolt lines up. All right. Oop. Yeah, it's not doing it. There we go. Okay, so you see the holes don't line up unless I lower it, right? I think we need to lower it more. It's going to be a lot lower, actually. Okay. Alright, now we got to get the bolt and stick it in through the other side. So the hole lines up. Yes, I think so. Man, I gotta pull down on it. There we go. Pull down on it hard. There we go. I got it. Oh, the chain is in the way. Okay. Just hit it from this side. Okay, I have no idea how we're going to torque that because there's nothing to stop the bolt on the other end. We'll have to just get a piece of pliers or something. So we put the washer in, put the bolt in. Okay, and this one just has a bolt. Okay, we'll go tighten it with the impact gun real quick. Okay, now we'll go torque it. Okay, so this one, I looked in the book, and this is 51 foot-pounds, and this is 58 foot-pounds. I don't know why the other one is more. If I feel like there should be a washer in there. I didn't take a washer out. It's the way it came out. I do have another washer right here, though. I can probably just put this one on. So let me go put that on before I torque it. Okay. Yeah, fits in there. Fell inside. All that grease, man. Okay, I'm gonna have to wipe out all this grease after. Okay. Okay. Alright, go torque it. Oh, God. Okay, there's one. And the other one is 58. I don't know if we can do the other one because there's nothing holding the bolt on the other side. Okay, got the 58 foot-pounds right there. I don't think we need this extension for this. Yeah, there's not a lot of room to work with. Another one. Okay. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, there we go. All done. Okay, now we gotta go put the take this back off. Put the kickstand back on. Okay, we're gonna put this beat up ass chain roller back on. Before we do that, I'm gonna go put some Loctite on it. Alright. I don't know what the torque is on it. I couldn't find it in the book, man. Not sure if I looked enough, but snug should be fine. Okay, and it looks like we're gonna need to get a new one of these soon, so put that on there. I've never seen that where it bolts onto the pivot bolt. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just get a 10mm T-handle and then just snug it. Okay, I'm not afraid of the threads breaking, so. Okay, should just spin. Yeah, actually, I don't think it's supposed to be super tight. Loosen a little bit. Okay, you want it to spin a little bit. Yeah, I feel like there should be a bearing on that, man. And there's not. That's probably why that thing is gonna get all eaten up and stuff. All right. There it is. That's it in action right there, guys. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go put the kickstand back on. I'm going to see if I can find another bolt like this. Alright, that's the same size as the original one. Okay, so bad news, guys. I just found out this is a SAE bolt. Alright, I'm looking at it. It has the tick marks. It doesn't have the numbers that the metric has, you know, the grades. It has the tick marks. This is an SAE bolt. This is not a metric. So this is obviously it's not the original one and it's not the proper one. I think they stripped the hole out. All right. So what we're gonna have to do is probably helicoil that at a later date. All right. But for now, let's just get this back. I'm gonna go put that back on and then we'll go helicoil that. I think it's supposed to be like an M10 or something. Okay. And the kickstand back on. Oh, it's supposed to go on the other side. It's weird. One side goes on top and one side goes on bottom. Okay, put this weird bolt back in. So the problem is it's also screwed straight into the frame, guys. Okay. Yeah, they just stripped the shit out of it, man. They just cross-threaded it to get it in there, man. Okay, doesn't have to be super tight, but I definitely don't want my side stand coming off. Okay, so at a later date, we will go helicoil that, guys, okay? Okay, and we're all done? Okay, what a mess. All right, let's get this back down. Let's see if it's any lower. Ooh, it seems like it's a lot lower. It's too low. So that's pretty much the highest we can make it with the Yamalink. Okay, guys. And it's still it's not that low. It's not that high. Yeah, it's still fine. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back on the kickstand. I mean, that's a scientific way to measure it, all right. But I'm going to just sit down on it, guys. And... Oh yeah, this is much better. There we go. So that's perfect. All right, that's how I want it. The balls of my feet are on the ground, guys. The balls of my feet. That's perfect. That's exactly how I want it. All right. We could probably lower the front. Yeah, I can. We'll lower the front in another video, guys. But that's perfect. So if you remember correctly, I was like tippy toes. All right. I'm like this. You know. I'm having to do the one leg thing. All right. But now I can get both of my feet on the ground. I can kind of push, all right? I'd imagine with my boots on and my gear on, it's going to sag a little more, but this is much more manageable. I like this. All right. I know it's not scientific. I think I goofed up the measurement, guys, but yeah. So, but yeah, it's much lower. I can get the balls of my feet on the ground as opposed to like I was on my tippy toes last time playing this balancing act. Okay, so I think that's perfect. That's exactly how I want it. When we lower the front, it's going to get even lower, all right? But this is as high as we can make it with the Yamalink, okay? We can still lower it by making the shock shorter, but I think this is perfect already, all right? I think I'm pretty happy with this. Is what I'm going to say. Okay. We can do other things to lower the bike, like shave the seat, all right? And then, like I mentioned, we're still going to lower the front. We'll lower the front like 10 millimeters or something, okay, guys? And then yeah. So I'm pretty happy. Also, the bike doesn't lean too much. All right. It's still okay. All right. So I think I'll take it. All right. The Yamalink is here to stay. Pretty happy with that. And it doesn't lean all that much. Check how much it leans. Alright, so the kickstand is still good for it. Alright, it didn't lower it a whole lot, man. It just lowered it a teeny tiny bit, man. Okay, guys. So, yeah, I think it's fine. It stands up a little straighter. Or does it? Yeah, it stands up a little straighter now with this kickstand, but it's still fine. Okay, guys, it's perfectly fine. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it much better. All right, I can get on it. Like I can get on it from the high side easily. Like, and the tail is not very tall on this bike, so okay. Okay, it's still a little tall, but I'll take that. That's good. All right. I want to see if I can get a bigger foot for this kickstand also. Okay. All right, and so with that, we're done with lowering the rear of the Yamaha WR250E. Okay. So I don't really know how much we lowered it. We must have lowered it like a centimeter or two, somewhere around there. Okay. I messed up on the measurement, guys. I think I looked at the wrong number. I went from my tippy toes to the balls of my feet. I can get both of my balls of my feet on the ground, right? So I feel much more planted than I was before, and that's fine, okay? At least now I can kind of get my feet on the ground and I could paddle with the bike if I wanted to, okay? Because I couldn't do that before, man. I was just swimming in that thing, man, okay? So yeah, everything looks good in there. I greased everything up. I don't foresee us having to lower the shock anymore, all right? I think it's fine.
and it will probably, the bike will get lower when we lower the front. Okay, so we'll lower the front like 10 millimeters or something, not a whole lot. Okay, like I said, I don't want to lower it a whole lot because we do need ground clearance. Okay, guys, this is an off-road bike. Okay, that's my goals with it. Okay, guys, it's gonna be a trail bike. All right, so I need some decent clearance on it too to clear rocks and obstacles and stuff. All right, but I don't want it too tall. Okay. Okay, so that's the end of this vlog. Thanks for watching. I hope this was entertaining and educational. All right, that's we lowered the rear of the WR250E using a Yamalink. Okay, I don't know why it was so hard to get the bolt out, the one that goes on the frame. I don't know why. All right, I had to really pound that sucker in with the hammer. All right, I had to pound it out and pound it in. All right, the other one just slipped right in. Okay. And I already knew it was lower because I had to lift the wheel up just to get the bolt in. Okay, so I'm sure we probably got an inch out of it. All right, guys, just about. All right, and we can get more if we wanted to, but I think that's fine. All right, with my gear on, I'll probably be heavier. The bike will sag more, and then when we lower the front, it should get even lower. Okay, so we're just going to lower the front just a teeny tiny bit. Okay. If anything, we probably you probably want it off-road. I kind of want it more raked. Okay, if you rake it, not rake. I mean, we want more rake. All right, is that the correct term? You want more rake or less rake? I think you want more rake. All right, if the front is higher than the back, you get more rake, and it rolls over obstacles easier. Okay, guys. If the front is lower, then the bike will turn faster. All right, it'll make it more unstable though. All right, so I think we want to make it more stable. We want to make it like a cruiser off-road. All right, guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play around with it. All right, is what I'm going to say. But I feel like, yeah, I kind of want to have the front higher than the back so we can pop the front off of obstacles. It goes over, like rocks and stuff more easily. All right, because the weight is farther back. Okay. Is what I'm gonna say. Okay, so I think maybe we'll lower it just a teeny tiny bit in the front. All right, but I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference. So. And I don't foresee the wheel hitting the fender. All right, but when I do get the shock off the surface, I will put the shock back on without the spring, and then we'll move it through the whole stroke, and we'll see how close it gets to the fender. Okay. If it gets hopefully it doesn't get dangerously close to it, all right? Because, like I mentioned, I had an instance in Baja on the WR650 where I didn't lower the bike properly, and I bottomed it out really hard, and the wheel hit the fender, and it threw me off the bike. All right, I went over the handlebars, and it was not good. Okay, guys. So that's a scoop, guys. Okay, thanks for watching. Hayes Miguel.